South African agriculture can look forward to a first of its kind conference presented by the ARC and the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development from the 12th to the 14th of February at Roodeplaat near Pretoria. To tell us more, I'd like to welcome Dr. Petronella Chaminuka and Dr. Sonia Venter. They will be giving us more information. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah. Petronella, what is the theme of this conference and why is it taking place?
Thank you for the opportunity. So the theme of the conference is Science Transforming Food Systems for a Better Future. And why did we choose this theme? You know, we're living in a time of multiple crises. It's either the energy crisis that we're talking about, it's disease and pandemics, it is floods, it's droughts. There is so much that is happening in our world. And obviously this has an impact on our food systems in terms of how do we produce food, the decisions that we make about consumption, the distribution of the food itself. So there are so many challenges that present an opportunity for science to help us to address these challenges. And for us to be able to make sure that there is coordination, we need to sit around a table. So this conference actually creates that platform for all the necessary stakeholders to sit around the table and debate these issues, but more importantly, to showcase what is being done by science for us as a people, as a nation, and for the sector.
I mentioned in the introduction, it is a first of its kind. Wow. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so the Agricultural Research Council and DALRRD are key partners in the sense that, you know, knowledge is a public good. We cannot exclude others from benefiting from science and technology outputs for the betterment of society. So we are the leaders that are supposed to create these opportunities. And we have not previously had the chance to do this. So we are now building on a new collaboration that we've had. Actually, it's a revitalized partnership that we had between ARC and DALRRD as the public sector leaders in the area of research and development for agriculture. So indeed, it is the first time that we are having this kind of conference. Thank you.
Why is this collaboration so important?
The collaboration is important. Firstly, as I indicated, we are at a time when we need to have these critical reflections about what do we want to get in terms of the investment that we put in research and innovation development. I think you'll agree with me that, you know, innovation has unlocked a whole lot of possibilities in terms of the trajectory that the world is taking. I mean, look at what is happening in the space of 4IR, for example. It feels like we've leaped 50 years forward just in the past few years. So these are very important collaborations, very important discussions for us to have, but also just to kind of look into what we can expect in terms of the future for these critical topics, because food is very core to our being, you know, to our very existence. It is the one place that unites us, apart from soccer, of course. But yeah, if you're supporting different teams, then you might be on opposite sides. But for food, I think it is a unifying factor, regardless of our other differences in society.
Sonia, she was talking about topics. So let us talk about that. What will be discussed?
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, we have a very exciting agenda for the conference. We are going to talk about climate change and the innovations that are happening in science in the space of climate change. There's a lot of challenges that we need to address. We need to get to a position where we have a more resilient agriculture that can also respond to some of the crises that Petronella mentioned earlier. So that's the one area that we're going to focus on. The second area is also on One Health and biosecurity. It is very important for our country to ensure that we are biosecure, but also to make sure that the whole agricultural sector contributes and ensure that there are no diseases that are spread from our borders to others or come into our country. And that is why One Health and biosecurity is very important. We're also going to look at soil health. Soil health is very important because, like in humans, if you have a healthy body, your immune system is well taken care of, and therefore we need to also look at what is happening in the soil. What can we do to make the soil a conducive environment for crops and animals, then to get sufficient nutrients to grow and to have optimal production for all of that. We are also going to look at innovations across the value chains, because it's not only important to produce, you also need to create enterprises and other values around agro-processing, so the entire value chain, so that the resilience in the sector is not only on the production side, but also across that entire value chain, to ensure that our farmers and the people in the value chain can maximize the benefits. And ultimately, the aim is to ensure that we have a food secure country. We have many people and children in our country that are still malnourished and don't have food to eat. And ultimately, the aim is to make sure that everyone in the country have access to safe food.
Sonia, if I listen to what the content or the topics are, it sounds very much like what the ARC is involved in, and you are actually from the ARC. But what is the department's role in this conference?
Thank you once more. What is important to understand is that we are in a partnership. So as much as the ARC develops new scientific solutions, it ultimately needs to reach the farmers or people in the value chain. So one of the key roles of the department is to take the knowledge that the ARC have and work with us. And this is a real partnership, because the scientists from the department side have been linked into the projects that we are currently doing in partnership. And then the process will be to look at the research solutions. How do we then transfer it into the agricultural sector? But also, how do we improve policies and the policy environment from science, so that we have that opportunities to really create new policies and procedures for the sector that will allow the sector to flourish. And that is why this is important, but more so also the investment in science. One of the key challenges that science have worldwide is investment in science. And the department have made a decision that it's going to invest significantly into new research projects that will come up with the results that can influence the policies. And then also the relationship between the Agricultural Research Council and the provinces, to make sure that we work with extension, we work with the knowledge that we have generated, and make sure that it is packaged and then transferred on the ground to our farmers and other people in the value chain.
Petronella, what about the speakers? Won't you share a few names with us? We don't have time to talk about all of them, but just a few.
Thank you. We've put together an exciting and very knowledgeable lineup of speakers. We're going to have the Minister of Agriculture addressing us and talking about what food systems transformation is within the context of South Africa. We have an address by the heads of departments from the different provinces, or the 9 provinces around the country. We have the CEOs of the National Agricultural Marketing Council, the other DALRRD entities, on the support veterinary products as well, OBP. And then we have our own ARC CEO, Dr. Lita Maginga. We have Professor Frans Swanepoel, who is a well-known expert in the area of food systems transformation. We have also brought in a couple of international speakers from Wageningen University in the Netherlands, the College of Agriculture in Malawi, And we also going to have amongst the panelists a number of leaders from industry in agriculture, and of course our scientists and in ARC, DALRRD, and the universities, and most importantly students as well, and farmers. They will all have a chance to speak in the program.
So who should and who can attend?
So this conference is open to anyone and everyone that has an interest in agriculture, young people particularly, women, people living with disability, industry, the private sector, commodity organizations, researchers and scientists from the universities, of course. We are also going to have farmers attending the conference, so there will be a program for farmers as well, and of course ARC and DALRRD staff and any other organization or person participating in the agricultural sector.
What can we do to attend? What should we do?
So if you go on the ARC website, you can actually just Google the ARC DALRRD Conference. You will find it on all social media platforms. You can participate in person or virtually. So there is a link there that will allow you to register to attend the conference.
Costs involved for those that are attending it in person?
We are not charging for this conference. That is good news.
Good
so
news.
Please
Yes.
do attend. There is absolutely no reason for not attending.
Well, that is the ARC Department of Agriculture Conference. Don't forget the date, from the 12th to the 14th of February at Plaas near Pretoria. If you can attend in person, the easiest, go to the ARC website for more information. Don't go away, I'll be back soon with more on this.
Daar is bykans geen veld in die landbou wat nog nie goed nagevors is nie. Vir die meeste goed het ons 'n antwoord: voeding, weiding, teeling ensovoorts. Daar is egter nog nie genoeg antwoorde vir ons klimaatskrisis nie. Klimaat is deesdae die grondsoort. Jy hoef nie baie slim te wees om te sien dat ons dinge anders sal moet begin doen nie. Volhoubaarheid in jou boerdery gaan bepaal word deur die manier waarop jy met die natuur omgaan. Ek wil tog boere aanmoedig om in te skryf vir die klimaatslim kompetisie. Almal kan nie wen nie, maar almal kan van mekaar leer. Net deur in te skryf wys dat die klimaat vir jou belangrik is. Jy is besig met iets op jou plaas wat jy dink ander boere ook moet weet. Vir my het die kompetisie baie beteken. Ek het soveel geleer van ander boere tydens die Boeredag. Geen een mens kan alles weet nie, maar saam weet ons soveel meer. Elkeen, hoe gering kan 'n bydrae lewer. Skryf in, wees deel van die leerproses.
And now we talk to Joel Mamabolo about this ARC Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development Conference from the 12th to the 14th of February. Joel, from your side, why is this so important?
This event is crucially important because people would talk about partnership. For us, it's not necessarily a partnership. It is imperative that the ARC does research and development for all farmers in South Africa. It's important to mention that the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development has ARC as its prime agricultural research hub in the country. That also includes the National Agricultural Marketing Council. These two organizations report to one minister. They are the parastatals of the state. Now, it's important that we have this event jointly with the ARC. Apart from the issues related to investment, of which globally there's an outcry for lack of investment in research and development. So the department has put a huge investment to the ARC to be able to get the ARC do research that impacts on agricultural production, biosecurity, natural resources. All this research is important to inform policy direction for food security needs of South Africa and beyond.
Thank you very much. Once again, the dates, 12 to 14 February, and go to the ARC website for more information. And if you'd like to attend, you can register there.
With many challenges facing agriculture these days, no farmer can afford animals that do not add value to the farm. Able to excel in arid and subtropical areas, with its natural disease resistance and environmental tolerance, the Bonsmara is productive where most other breeds would fail. Bonsmara, the breed for all reasons.